Ja Morant might look like your regular NBA player, but he lives life like a certified superstar. From owning million-dollar cars that go 10 times the speed limit, to a controversial shoe that cost a company $80 million. These are stupidly expensive things Ja Morant owns. Ja Morant started out his NBA journey like any other kid on the block with a natural talent to hoop. After years of backbreaking work, Morant finally made it to the Big Boys League, and the first thing he did was ice out his teeth with the sickest looking grills you've ever seen. Most players get cars or even houses, but Ja was all about getting blinged out, and with grills, he could always wear them on the court. These $20,000 grills were made using 14-karat white gold, giving the Memphis player a smile that could light up any room. After Ja Morant launched the grills at a press conference, it caused other players to get their own grills, and soon enough, the whole team had enough diamonds on their teeth to fill a small jewelry shop. Those grills were cool and all, but it seemed like Ja Morant wasn't satisfied with just lighting up the room. He soon moved on to the next best thing, which was having a party in his mouth. That is why he had a completely new custom grill made in 2024, and this time they were on another level. Ditching the look of pure diamonds for precious metals, Ja Morant's new grills were all about showing that he was more than just an NBA player, which is why he spent $40,000 on his new shiny grill. Even though he could break ankles and dunk on 10-foot basketball nets, Ja Morant had a toxic craving for diamond jewelry, which meant taking lots of trips to Icebox. Morant might spend most of his time on the court, but that never stopped him from flaunting some insane diamond chains. From bust-down Cuban bracelets worth $55,000 to $80,000 custom-made pendants, Ja was all about that Icebox lifestyle.
Let me just stop doing it. That's after you on about, well, you just took the other YSL.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Then after buying like 3-4 of them YSL, you like, man.
It's no surprise he ran into Gunna on one of his visits to the jewelry store. And of course, the rapper convinced Ja to double down on some more ice. Like this black and white diamond-encrusted AP for $100,000. And that still wasn't enough for Ja Morant, who had Icebox make a custom chain with the number 12 and his nickname right on top of it. At this point, we need to ask Ja Morant if he loves spending more time at Icebox than he does on the court. Even though you don't quite have the money to shut down Icebox, you can still subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Ja Morant's love for Icebox probably had something to do with the fan who showed up courtside to present him with an expensive gift. Unlike other NBA players who have trash talkers at all their games, Ja Morant had rapper Moneybagg attending all his games, and he even presented the Grizzlies player with a $50,000 pendant from his record label. The piece had the words "Bread Gang" inscribed on it, pointing to the fact that Ja was welcome to Moneybagg's record label if he ever got tired of basketball. First Gunna and now Moneybagg, Ja Morant really knows how to attract rappers, and it probably has something to do with his $600,000 jewelry collection. With such an expensive jewelry collection, Ja Morant might come off as an ice-obsessed kid, but he never lets that stop him from giving back to those who deserve it. The most obvious example of this was how he surprised his parents with their dream cars right after his first NBA check hit. After seeing his parents and what his parents sacrificed to make sure he never strayed away from basketball, he just knew he had to make their day by gifting them a $65,000 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat and a $70,000 Audi A8. As if that wasn't enough, Morant followed it up by getting them a 9,000 square foot home in one of the most exclusive parts of Memphis. When you stand to earn over $100 million playing basketball, shilling out $1.3 million to give your parents their dream home sounds like a steal. Buying his parents expensive cars and houses is cool, but what really separates Ja Morant from his peers is his kindness towards total strangers. Back in 2023, Ja learned of a fan who had been coming to all his games with the hope that she would someday get all the players' autographs on her basketball. Unfortunately for the young girl, tragedy struck at a game when her prized ball got stolen before she could even get Ja's autograph. Once Ja Morant got word of her situation, he instantly got in contact with the girl and surprised her with tickets to the next game. He didn't end there though. He also gave her his signed, match-worn basketball jersey and shoes, which more than made up for what she lost when her ball got stolen. And that wasn't the only time Ja showed love to a total stranger. Ja Morant's most heart-touching encounter happened at a regular diner when he gave a waitress a tip she would never forget. After enjoying a simple meal at a Texas diner, Morant left a $500 tip that left the waitress shocked.
I'm already in there.
Who you playing for?
The Grizzlies.
Your new favorite team. Your new favorite team, the Grizzlies.
That's the team that boy played, Ja Morant.
That's him.
That's him? You that boy that?
You that boy. Yeah.
What's your name?
Ja Morant.
Even though she didn't recognize him, you could see her reaction after realizing she was in the presence of an NBA star. Ja Morant was clearly all about helping others, but he knew that helping one person at a time wasn't going to cut it, so he thought of a plan to help his community on a massive scale. Ja knew that making basketball accessible to all was a great way to help kids, so he went on a 13-court renovation program that made sure over 1,000 kids could shoot hoops. To renovate a basketball court costs around $20,000, so by doing the math, Ja Morant took the lead in the $260,000 renovation program to help thousands of school kids. He also hatched other plans to help young kids on a massive scale with the Memphis Area Boys and Girls Club. Apart from donating to the club, Ja also gave out backpacks with $100 gift cards to all the kids, and he didn't stop there. He got to work on his next big-brained move to help the club raise money by using his birthday to rally his fans to the cause. By involving the fans, Ja had everyone donating to the Memphis Area Boys and Girls Club, and to make it worthwhile, Ja matched all donations up to $10,000. Even though we don't know how much Ja Morant raised for the club, it's safe to say they ended up with a couple of stacks. When you've got a heart of gold like Ja Morant, you have to take care of yourself, which is why Ja buys cars whenever he is feeling down. Before the money and the fame, Morant could only afford a $30,000 Mercedes C-Class, which he bought by saving up all the money he had. The car was okay, but Ja Morant had to deal with the car breaking down a lot, which drove him mad a lot. It's crazy to think that in just a few years, someone who struggled to own an old C-Class would eventually own a collection filled with the fastest street-legal cars ever made. But that's exactly what happened. As soon as the cash hit his bank account, Ja Morant immediately upgraded his Mercedes for a $50,000 Dodge Charger Scat Pack with custom leather seats. Going for a super fast car out of the box was just the beginning, because Ja stepped it up with other faster whips, like a $180,000 Ferrari Roma, a $90,000 Porsche Cayenne, and a $350,000 Aston Martin Vantage. Since these cars could do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, Ja knew that would satisfy his need for speed. So he decided to go the classy route with a $500,000 Rolls-Royce Dawn. And when we say it's customized to the max, you best believe it's customized. Since Rolls-Royce offered their clients almost limitless customization options, Ja Morant took them on their offer by customizing things in his Rolls-Royce Dawn, from the interior down to the paint job. With such an expensive car, you would expect Ja to take extra care of the car, but not long after acquiring it, he let his homies take it for a spin, and it came back with a little hiccup. It seems like he loved everything about the Rolls-Royce Dawn, because he followed it with another purchase from Rolls-Royce, only this time, he went for a $45,000 Cullinan. All Ja's cars add up to a staggering $2.5 million. But it's nothing compared to his most expensive vehicle, and that's because it spends most of its operational time in the air. You wouldn't think that someone who had their rookie season in 2019 would be able to afford a private jet, but Ja loves to party, and there is nowhere better to party than 40,000 feet in the air. Ja Morant and his boys get lit on the $10 million Phenom 300 G12 jet. And you know these parties get wild when they don't have to worry about crashing the plane. When you've got the car collection of a top baller, you need an impressive home to keep it all. And you wouldn't believe what Ja Morant did next. Remember the $1.3 million home he bought for his parents? Well, Ja Morant thought it was a great idea to get a home close to his parents. So he bought the house next door, and it only cost him $3.1 million. Despite his home being so close to his parents, Ja's crib looks like it could be an extension of Buckingham Palace because it's so damn huge. With 14,000 square feet of space, Ja Morant's castle comes equipped with 7 bedrooms, a basketball court, a gym, a waterslide pool, and a room dedicated to all his signed jerseys. Ja Morant gets to live in such a massive home that comes with the added benefit of having his parents next door. That's the kind of life most of us can only dream of, and Ja Morant gets to own it all.